Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys all back to my channel, and today I'm here with another makeup book review, and that is on the book Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. I decided to do this after I read the book because I was just so in love with the book that I decided I wanted to talk about it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. So this is what I look like without my wig on, and we're just gonna go right into this. Actually, we're gonna make an adjustment while I'm on camera. Okay, so this is good. So like I was saying, I am doing another makeup book review on the book The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo, and it is like, this book surprised me for multiple reasons, but I will stress again, I read this book by listening to it on audiobook. The author actually does the reading of this, and I think it's because it's her book that I felt like she did such an amazing job. But I've also added another element to these makeup reviews, so I'm going to do a look inspired by something in the book, and I'm going to particularly pick her party scene where she goes to a Halloween party and she tries to do a simple costume with the color green. So that is what I'm going to be playing on for this particular makeup tutorial. So I've already primed and prepped my face, and we're just going to slowly talk about the book. I am going to set it to the side because it is a white book, and I'm not trying to get this book messed up. But the story is about a young girl named Xiomara Batista, and we're also going to start with the eyes, so I'm going to use my Sephora Bright Feature Serum. Don't remember which one it is. But yeah, so the story is about this young Dominican girl named Xiomara, and she's got a twin brother named Xavier, who she calls X, and she's got a mommy and a poppy. And her mommy is super religious, like super religious. And she's always hard on Xiomara. She's always pretty much just like making Xiomara's life like heck. And Xiomara's at that age where, like, you know, that part of puberty where you kind of just want somebody to like to tell you what's going on, to give you some kind of instruction. Sorry, I'm spraying my beauty blender. So, it starts with her. Now, the best part about this book is that this book is told in the form of slam poetry. So if you don't know, if you're just reading it, then it looks like a bunch of poems. But if you listen to Elizabeth actually read them, then they come off like slam poetry. And I think that part was fantastic because you still got a full storyline, and it still sounded like she was reading a poem from her journal. Now, another thing is Xiomara's got curves, which to some people would sound amazing, but to her, because her mom is super religious, she essentially says that her body was given to her by the devil, and like her body is like tempting to men, and like because of that, like she could be fast and she needs to, you know, be careful and all that stuff. So there's that. All right, so we are probably going to go, we're going to go back into the brown that's inside of the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place. Y'all know I don't have any other palettes but them. And we are going to put this on the outer crease of the eye and just kind of blend it in right there. But yes, like I was saying, so the story is essentially all about Xiomara just trying to get some kind of life. She's struggling with all the typical teenage things, hormones, everything. And I don't know, I guess I could say that like puberty for her was way worse than puberty for me, because my mom did not like beat me for asking questions, you know? So, she's got a best friend. I'm trying to think of, you know, this is just going to be a spoiler type thing. So the story starts off with Xiomara trying to explain, like she's trying to explain to us, the reader, like what type of person her mother is. And then if you realize it while you're reading, like Xiomara's mother is just ridiculous with her zeal for God. It's ridiculous. I'm going to bring it into the middle of my eye, decided. But yeah, so Ziomata, she's not allowed to do squat, like, ever. And she gets picked on and harassed by the boys at her school. She deals with, like, old men checking her out and all that stuff. Like, Ziomata has no life. Her brother X, on the other hand, is a very, very intelligent young man. He is... Hold on, I'm looking for... Oh, there we go. He's a very intelligent young man who is also struggling with himself because he also is gay. But if you guys can guess from the family that he is a part of, he doesn't want to bring that up either. All right, so next I'm going to go in to the Saharan 2, and I think I'm going to just mix the red and the brown. The red and the brown together. Actually, no, I'm going to mix Taza and Fez, so it's the orange and the brown. And we're going to try to bring some color, some dark colors. So one of the major scenes one of the major plot themes of this is the fact that she meets this guy named Aman, and they sit next to each other in biology class, and she starts catching feelings for Aman. And my favorite part of this story is the way that, like, at one point she sounds real adult, and then she'll go, but I mean, he has to like me, right? Like, he pays attention to me. Or am I being stupid? And it's like, oh, like, your little teenage hormones, like, you don't even know what to think. That's so cute. I don't know, I found that cute. And then, what is it? So, she does this whole thing in secret, because you know how teenagers are. Like, you're gonna try to do it in secret, and, you know, it's all fun and games. However, she gets caught making out with old boy on the bus by none other than her mother. And you know how she finds out? She finds out because she comes home, she hears her mother's voice. So that's already an indicator. But then she hears her mother say that she saw her tonguing down some boy like a harlot. It just goes... And, like, that part, I don't know. When I got to that part of the book, I was like, yo, her mom is crazy, because her mom made her, like, pray on rice all weekend. And I don't know, is that like a Catholicism thing or not? But I was like, what exactly is that supposed to fix? You know what I mean? It was just like, was it really wrong for her to kiss a boy? And that was another thing. She was going through the motions, essentially, of the punishments. But in her slam poetry, she was revealing her true emotions and how sad she was. That, like, her parents were calling her a hoe and all that stuff. Like, to her face. I forgot what the Spanish word for hoe was. And, like, threatening to send her to the Dominican Republic to, like, learn her lesson. And, like, you could really feel her pain from this journal. And I'm going to use Berber. Yeah, I'm going to use this one. Because I don't think I want to do super green, but I feel like this blue-green is enough. If not, we'll fix it. So, yeah. Also, we should also pay attention to the fact that she's an okay student, but she gets an English teacher who actually cares about her. But her English teacher opens up a slam poetry group. And she wants Ziomata to join, because another thing you get to preview is, like, when she writes her papers for her English class. So you'll read it and it'll be like, what I really want to say on assignment 1. What I actually turned in. So you'll read both of them, and they're both really good. But, you know, when you listen to her tell a certain story, it's kind of heartbreaking, honestly. It's like she tells a story about how she started her period and she was freaking out. And so she went to the store and bought tampons. So when her mom came home, her mother saw the tampons, and, like, you know, Ziomata is crying, like, hoping for some kind of comfort. And instead she gets smacked across the face because only hoes wear tampons. Like, it was multiple times when I was listening to this audiobook that I was just like, my God, I'm so glad my mother is not like this. Like, I'm so glad. Like, who knows what I would have been like if that was the kind of mom that I was meant to have. We'll just put it like that. I think I need, like, a dark think I need like a dark brown. So we're going to look for a dark brown to kind of mix this up. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to use my Coastal Scents brown, and that is called Deep Roast. And I'm just going to really focus like in this area to kind of like blend it out, but also give it some kind of depth because it's looking kind of boring. So, yes. So also another part of this that I find very interesting is that she has to do confirmation classes. Now, I'm not very sure what confirmation classes are, like, you know, what they stand for or whatever, but I do know that her priest was a pretty understanding man in the fact that he let Ziamata ask questions. You know, he let her, like, I respect people of religions who understand that, like, as a person, you could have questions. As a person, you could be human and you have questions. And, like, you're allowed to ask the questions without being condemned, you know, to hell or wherever else. So I really appreciated that with him. I kind of felt like, I don't know, I felt like he was listening way more than her mother. I'm going to have to put that green on. So, woo! So after that, after her confirmation classes are canceled and she no longer has to go to confirmation class because her mother was so upset that she called the priest or whatever, and she made Ziamata go confess to her sins, aka making out with old dude. And she told the priest she didn't feel sorry. Can you blame her? But the funniest part to me was that, like, the priest was like, maybe Ziamata should not continue these classes. And so she starts sneaking off to poetry class, which, as it turns out, is the perfect outlet for her. She feels safe. She feels appreciated. She feels like people are actually seeing her. And more importantly, she's feeling listened to, because honestly, throughout most of the story, Ziamata is emotionally and mentally abused. Like, she's abused. Like, she's not abused in like the typical way that you would immediately jump up and be like, oh my gosh, save this girl. But she's abused. And just having that outlet was amazing. But then, you know, everything after Ziamata got punished and all that stuff, she comes back to school where she sees Amon. Amon has no idea what's going on, but one thing that happens is that Ziamata is, okay, so you know when you're in high school and middle school and guys somehow felt like it was okay to like run up behind you and smack you on your butt like as hard as you can, and then like they would laugh and you'd be sitting there rubbing your butt trying to figure out why you have fingerprints there? Well, that happened to Ziamata, and when she looked to Aman to do what she's been needing somebody to do her whole life, and that's protect her, he also didn't do it. So it was literally like, it's like watching Ziamata. Okay, Ziamata is an example of a strong woman in that she can handle herself, but she's been handling herself for so long that she just wants somebody else to come and take over. And I can't necessarily say that I blame her because she's only 16. It's like, God, girl, I want to give you a hug. I want to, like, make sure you're okay. I want to make sure that you've got everything you need. Like, I just want to help, you know? So we're going to do some not even eyebrow highlight. I think we're going to keep that to a minimum. I just want to give some more transition at the top. So we're going to go in with Blame It on Midnight by NYX. Of course, if you've been watching my channel, you know this is my go-to. I'm also seriously needing to do my eyebrows, but we're going to work with it anyway. Yeah, see, Blame It on Midnight is just what my eyebrows needed. So then we're just going to blend that down. So I'm going to go back in with Taza from the Sahara, 2 palettes of the orange. And I just want to concentrate that over here just to give out some more transition, because I'm not seeing a lot of transition going on. But I am seeing green where it's not supposed to be. Okay. So we're done with the eyes. I think I want a pretty thick eyeliner. I don't know. I still have eyeliners I haven't opened from the Ipsies that I got. Like this one is Jessie's Girl. I don't know the brand, but I'm going to see if it's not dried out yet. No. All right. So the reason that I really feel like you should read, Poet X is that it's a typical coming of age story, but it's told from somebody who is not really heard. Like, even from the standpoint of like types of books you would read about coming of age, you don't normally read a book like this. You especially don't get to read it in slam poetry form. And I think from that standpoint, it's a classic. I'm going to put some more primer right here, just because I didn't realize how much green I put on there until then. So I'm using my Urban Decay De-Slick one, and again, I love it, but this junk it'll still turn my face white and mess up everything. Okay. Let's see. We're going to use concealer, and I am not going to do any color correcting concealer. I'm not. I'm going to try to do it without it, and I'm going to use just a little bit of my Clinique Beyond Perfecting concealer, just because my eyes look really dark today, and I would like to fix that problem. And then I want to go in with I think I'm going to go with my NARS. Oh, I probably should do foundation first, right? Yeah. Out of touch, guys. So let's see. I'm going to give my final thoughts on Poet X after I'm done with my makeup. So, excuse me. Let's just do the makeup and come back. guys, this is the final look. Again, it was inspired by The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads because I just really felt like, I'd never read a book told entirely by slam poetry, so that was one. 2, I felt like the author not only wrote the poems very well, but she also read the poems very well on audiobook. This is why I am suggesting that I still own the book, but it is available on Hoopla if you want to listen to it. It is read by the author again, and I felt like she really, I don't know, maybe some of these stories about Xiomara have some thing to do with her real life. I don't know, but I felt it and I really loved it, and I really think that you guys would love it too. So let me know down below, have you guys read this book yet? If you have, what are your thoughts? I got some other books that I plan on doing reviews on throughout the year, so don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Again, thank you guys so much for checking out my channel, and until the next time, guys, bye.